Good morning, good afternoon, good evening across the country, around the world. Welcome back to Planet Coaster WestCOT. It's part 2 of working on our Spain build for the World Showcase here, of Valencia, Spain specifically. To the right there you can see the City of Arts and Sciences building, or at least my recreation of it, and up to the left, the castle looking thing is the Serranos Gates. We're going to work on the area from those gates kind of forward, kind of the front plaza, front square of Spain. And the next episode we'll be working on the square behind it, Neptune Square. It's going to have Neptune's fountain in it. So I wanted to have a little square here that kind of brackets the Serranos Gates. In reality, in Valencia, at least I think from the pictures I gather, I only walked past this gate. I don't even know if, I'm not even sure if we walked through it when I was there. But I only walked past it once, or saw it from a distance once, or walked through it once, so my memories are rusty and minimal, and it was 10 years ago. But from the pictures I can see, the gate is actually freestanding. It's standing on alone, kind of in its own, a little bit of its own square, kind of. But to the right, you'll see kind of a pink-colored building, and to the left, you'll see kind of buildings there. Because it's, you know, it's WestCOT, it's a Disney park, we get a little bit of artistic license, right? So I'm going to take and bracket this as if it's right next to that gate, as if it's kind of grown up that way, or it's been added in that way. So this, yeah, this pink, peachy colored salmon, clearly it's salmon, this salmon colored building here is very similar to what is to the right of the gates from the pictures that I've seen. Unfortunately, the windows that are on the two outer columns, they don't square up to the tiles correctly. When you press F to square it to a tile, the bottom of the window squares to the tile. Every other window, I think, every other window squares to the center of the window. The window's centers to the center of the tile. Whereas those guys, the bottom of the window centers to the tile. It's a little obnoxious. So I had to stretch the building up a little more, but it's okay. It's still shorter than the gates, and that's what I want. I want the buildings there to be shorter, to kind of give the gates a little bit of a bit of forced perspective, and a little bit of more of yeah, it's a bit of the weenie for this little corner of the park. So we get this pink little house over here. What its story is, I don't know. It's totally non-functional. It's just a facade. I'm not going to put it back on it yet, because behind it is going to be more buildings of a really kind of rectangular-ish, maybe a little bit L-shaped square with Neptune's fountain in it behind this. And again, that's not like geographically where Neptune's fountain is. I don't think. I could be wrong. My wife isn't that sure. She's only been to Valencia a few times too. But that's where I'm putting it. Again, it's a Disney park. If you go to Epcot in Florida, you're going to get all kinds of weird, like if you go to the Venice, there's all kinds of things that aren't next to each other that are right next to each other there. So yeah, artistic license. I'm gonna do it. And over here we have a row of buildings, and the one closest to the gate was white. The next one was kind of a tan, and the next one is a bit of another pink color. And I know this looks kind of Neapolitan, doesn't it? Although I think it's a different orientation for Neapolitan. But yeah, and those buildings look really simple right now, but we decorate them and give them different levels. And oh yeah, I was looking at research off to the side on my iPad for reference. And the first one, the windows are really big, and the windows look a little more modern. It's like the building got a little bit modernized. So I take the plastic windows and do that, and yeah, so they're nice, long, tall windows. So this building has like really tall floors. It has like cathedral ceiling or whatever floors. So it's a little, the scale is a little funky, especially when you compare it to the other two, but it looks like what the one in Spain looks like, I think, kind of a little bit. And even there, those windows, the floors don't match up. They're different standards. A lot of these buildings are really old, and they've been kind of, people have done whatever they wanted to with them. So they've been, renovated in different ways and tweaked to different things, and nothing's to a standard. Plus, a lot of things there were kind of janky. We stayed at a hotel. It was a 2-star, labeled as a 2-star hotel, and like the window didn't close correctly. It was a 4-floor walk up, a tiny winding stair. Like my wife had trouble going up and down. She's afraid of heights. She got nauseous going up and down. I didn't really care for it either. It was a lot of walking, but it was okay for one night, just for one night before we bunked in with family after that. Yeah, a lot of the buildings there are what they are. They're not in the best of shape, but they do the best they can. But a lot of those buildings, you know, unlike those of us here in America, those buildings are hundreds of years old. They're from the 1700s, maybe. Maybe not that old, but they're old. They're certainly old. Down here, because again, those windows center to a weird place, I wanted something to kind of be something at the bottom. And I was looking for I don't know what I was looking for, because I can't remember the name of what it's supposed to be even now. So I had to like open up everything, give me a search, and I scrolled all the way to the bottom, didn't find what I was looking for. I still don't really know what I was looking for, whether it's even in building or in scenery, but I found the stucco wall something trim thing, and I was like, oh, okay, that works. So I use it once upside down and right side up, and we end up just bloop bloop bloop. And that ends up, that's a pretty nice little facade. Kind of gives it a little bit of quality. A little stucco, a little marble-ish quality. And apparently in Spain, marble flooring is like a big deal. Whoa, as I hit the mic. Marble flooring is like a big deal. So I figured like, all right, yeah, marble accent, that's cool. And that's it for that one. The pink one down there, as I was looking at the thing to the side, I realized like, oh, that top floor is kind of a balcony. It's got archways to it. So I thought I would do this, archways, and then split it. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this turns out. We use the walls. There it is. And we'll end up enclosing that, making it a balcony, and, or maybe not a balcony, but a terrace, making it like a terrace. And I light it, and I'm pretty happy with how that turns out. The roof of this building, again, these are all scaled down. The roof of this building had a lot more up and downs, but that's the best I could do without using the same thing that I used on the yellow building there, without using the turret openings. I forget what that's called, but that flowy thing up there is the best I could get. Nice big pink door, and then here, yeah, just a whole bunch of windows. In the middle, I wanted to have something a little more ornate, just a little more grand, so I go with one of the big stained glass-ish windows. Oh yeah, we use those as kind of display windows at the bottom. Not that they're correct. There we go. The big LED window or LED lined or stained glass, whatever it is. And then here, yeah, because this building again is going to be the corner. You are going to be able to see that corner of it from the next land. Maybe the backside of it from the next land. I don't know yet. Still a work in progress. But I wanted that wall to be complete. The backside isn't complete yet, but I'll get to that eventually. And then here, yeah, here's where I put in that terrace and wall it in, and then close it in and close it up. And again, these buildings we're going to close up because they are kind of the backside of something else, maybe. I'm not sure yet. Get those in there just to close that off. We have roofs, but not backs to them. And here, aha, yes. I like this. I tried to do something like this in Park Buena Vista, and it didn't work out for the Main Street area. It was just concrete, and it was just kind of bland. But here with these stone tiles, it gives it a little more character. And we end up later on extending that stone all the way across the path even, so the path disappears, kind of. You'll see in a bit why it doesn't fully work out. But I like the look of this. It gives the area more of I think, a European character. And then at this point, I wanted to have some dining venues out front. Not that there's anything going to be functional, but I want it to look like what I saw in Spain. And in almost every town, in some place, in one of the squares somewhere, there's restaurants with dining that's just on the plaza out in front. They just have a whole bunch of tables just scattered around out front. And I wanted to emulate that. Oh, I guess I go into lighting first. I did want to light this tower because it is lit at night, somewhat similar to this. Yeah, we light all those three front corners, giving it a nice yellowish glow, because that light there is a yellow light, at least from the pictures I've seen of it in Spain. Oh yeah, and then the lanterns here. It's like, every other one, does that work? No, that doesn't work. Balls. We end up putting them in every one of those archways, and even looking at this again, it felt weird when I did it. It looked weird when I was editing this video, and now it looks weird now. I swear one side has 5 archways, one side has 6 archways. I don't understand why there's a difference. Oh yeah, here I was pausing. I was looking at reference material off to the side because I wanted to see how these pointed archways in the back here were lit. I swear I saw a picture somewhere of them lit somehow, lit a certain way or a certain light or certain intensity or whatever. And I was like, nope, I can't find it. All right, whatever. So we ended up just lighting it like that. And I think it looks really cool. It really makes those archways pop. I also saw one of those pictures that there is, like, you know, the utility door over here to get into the building. And then, because I saw this on a bunch of pictures too, there's a flag. There's always a flag on this tower. That was at last pause to make sure I could find it. I think that it's a generic, I don't know what flag, but it works pretty well. I think the flag that I've seen in the pictures was red and blue too. So it works fairly well for that. So here, oh, nope, never mind. I lied. We're going to keep lighting the buildings because I want them to be nice and glowy. And unfortunately, I kept having this problem. Even though I was editing a building, parts would pop in, and maybe it's a normal thing. Maybe there's a setting. I don't know. Parts would pop in, and they would align to the world grid, not to the building grid, which I guess makes some sense, but it's kind of annoying when you have to either replace them or do zigzags across that are just a straight line straight across. Slightly obnoxious. So here, I want to do little dining plazas out front. So I was like, okay, what tables do I have? No, that's just too much. It's just, there's so many big pieces to do so little with that. So I took a little trip to the workshop and I found this table and I found that table and that table and that table. I didn't like those. I like that one-ish. Like I said, I like that one with the parasol. That one's really cool. That one's all right, a little modern. That's too big. That's just stupid. That one, oh yes, I ended up using that one a lot. That one's really cool. A couple others, too ornate. I like this set. It even says benches and tables by _fog. So thank you _fog, or fog. I don't know if the underscore was intentional. But I like your sets. I ended up using a couple of those tables, and I'll probably end up using more of those tables from that set somewhere else. For the most part, we start off with these two, and fortunately they were saved as buildings, so they're easy to copy paste. The other parts from Fog's set, I have to, well, I got creative, and it ends up working out pretty well. The first one was a little tedious, but the other one ends up working out pretty well. I'm pretty happy with the trick I used. But here I just wanted a line of these up along the front here, right up along the street, kind of along the walkway there, so that people can walk past, see everybody dining, and be jealous. And say, I want that food, hopefully entice them to get that. So I split that off of the building, or I go to, there we go, split off the building, but because it's just those pieces, it's not a building. I have to save it as its own building. It doesn't want to save as something that's just a click on. No, they all get separated into their individual parts. So we kept using these over here. They're okay. The round seat parts you see there are actually the base for the Oriental lantern. That's why there's that red glow underneath. There's not a fire down there. There's a red glow from the lantern. You can see it on some of those. I was like, what is this? Oh, they're signs. That's a cool sci-fi bench. I ended up using this one down here because it's a little simpler. And I was like, oh, no, it's not a thing. Nah, okay, leave that. And I thought, wait, I could work around this. Maybe I can either do this and plop it down like that. So make it a building. Yes, yes, yes. And copy. I was like, okay, and we can just slip this in here, and then will it disappear? Not maybe, kind of, sort of, not really. But I realized, wait, what does it matter? I can still just copy, duplicate, move these around, and add some tables, and at the end, just go away and delete those extra pieces of, quote, roof I'm using as ground. I had trouble getting to that one, so I was like, screw, delete, there we go, and got it back. So there's a little dining area. I'm pretty happy with all those tables there. Like I said, that was something I saw a lot, was little dining areas just inside all the little plazas. They were everywhere, whether it was for a McDonald's or for nice places or what. Oh, this food in Spain. Sorry, just remembered how good it was. Anyway, so that's that recreation of that little border with some lights. I'm very happy with how that looks. I think we're going to clean up a little bit off to the side. Yeah, clean up. And that was where I ended that session. And then we jump back in. There was the cut. And I work on finishing off the other side of the main road there. I want to expand that. There we go. A couple tiles. We'll end up shaving the water to it too. And then here next to it, I wanted to have a fountain in Valencia, to not this orientation, but perpendicular, but parallel to the length of the City of Arts and Sciences. There is I think there's a fountain, and there's another walkway. So in a way, I guess this thing kind of emulates all of that. I guess it's my emulation of a couple different things, both in the fact that there's a fountain there and the kind of look and color of it. Still that white concrete, very I don't want to say sterile, but very man-made, utopian. I'm not sure what I want to say about that. But anyway, I got the ground sucked back, and the water actually leveled out at a higher level than I thought it would for some reason. I don't know, the water's tricky sometimes. So we got that, and oh yes, put in the water once I find the right height. There we go. Put a bottom in this, and then we end up putting in some fountains. Oh, that was Z-fighting and bothering me. It's still Z-fighting a little bit, but it's not as bad. Oh yeah, I did want to add the supports back to the arch, the sloped parts of the path there, because otherwise it was just really hanging out there. It looked kind of awkward. Oh yeah, I wanted to delete the curbs on the paths because I want to extend the tile. There we go, all the way across, and it still looks decent. You can still see the tile though. You can still see the curb path curb. So it's not perfect. It's not ideal, but it's okay. I think I'll leave it for now. I might go back. I can't get rid of the curbs because I added to the ground for that fountain there, and now it's just not having it. It's saying nope, you can't. Path's too uneven. It's not happy. So here we're starting the water fountains. I don't remember where I even saw this pattern, but these with them crossing 3 times like this, yeah. The fountain, it might look like this in Valencia, but also there are more so. There's another walkway to the, I don't know, the waterward side from that City of Arts and Sciences there that mimics that pattern where it's those archways, which is tons of really thin, delicate looking white archways that you pass under. It's really pretty. But I kind of want to emulate that with the water fountain there. And so here I wanted to close out this corner, and I was like, this is an awkward area. I don't know what to do. So I ended up building up this, and I don't know what it is, whether it's a hotel or another house. But I was like, okay, we can do this, and then, yeah, roof it up. And I was like, okay, it has a corner. Let's do corner balconies, because I haven't done that yet. Anywhere, I don't think. So windows. And I was like, what do we... Oh, the castle tiles again, because, yeah, that's kind of fitting. And it was a bit of a struggle to get... didn't work out either. It was a bit of a struggle to get... there we go. The railings that match, because nothing is that length. Nothing is the length of that diagonal side. It's kind of annoying. So I tried to do those stone ones. Didn't work out. I try these wooden ones, which are the correct angle, but then that middle space is just an awkward gap because that guy's too long. So I'm like, okay, what do I do? Just leave it open. That's awkward and unsafe. I figured I'd do this for now because I knew I'd wanted to close it off. I was like, okay, what do we have? Like, oh, that's a nice little sticking out balcony railing-ish thing. So I figured like, okay, let's try with that. And then how about delete those and just slide these over. And yeah, that looks okay. It looks like it used to be like a full stone balcony, but it's kind of aged maybe. So there's the wood railing to support it to make it safe now. And that I'm okay with that. I'm happy with that. It's not perfect, but I'm okay with that. And then I gave these some more of these like little, I don't know, church windows, just to give it a different flavor. And then doors to the balconies here. And then here I'm like, all right, we just got to extend this building just as a facade, just to hide stuff. It's support for that building. Yeah, you don't know. No one knows. And that works out. That hides that corner. It could give, the cast members access. Oh, and here, because I thought like, oh, wait, I can use different lanterns because who cares? So I put in some different lanterns there, just to give it a little character. I figured that building is a little bit quirky. And then here, I was like, okay, there we go. Do the stone tiles here. And you know what? This thing is the dominant thing. It's going to be everywhere. And the stone tiles here, if you get them all to the right level, it's okay. They fight a little bit, but they actually end up blending together fairly well. And here, yeah, we're going to shave the water of the lagoon, I guess, back. Oh, too much. There we go. And I end up pulling it back just a little bit. But we do the similar thing with the fountain where it's walled down and the water just goes up against a wall instead of against the ground. And again, happy with this. I have to add the walls on the other side, that back side that you can't see anymore. I have to add walls there. I neglected to. I failed. There we go. We smoothed that out a bit. Yeah. Quite happy with that. Work on some lighting because it's a little dark, at least on the pathways. We're going to get some of these simple lights on the pathways because why not? And then down here, I wanted to try to light something that would actually light the fountains, but there's really nothing that will light up the water of the fountains. So if I eventually said, like, all right, we'll just do the normal thing, even that didn't light it up, and those light up everything. Just stick these in every other tile or so, all the way across, and it gives a nice glow to the fountain. The water does interesting things with it, though. The water makes it all kind of mellowed out, I think. And then here, some of these lanterns just to light up the walkway. But that's going to be it for this episode and the front side of Spain. Still going to work on the kind of the edges there. Oh, I lied. Couple more lights just to make things pop. And then, oh yeah, I cleaned that up just a smidgen. There we go. That way it looks a little more purposeful. And some windows. Good. Boop. There we go. That's going to be it for this episode. Final little angled shot there. There we go. I like the way it looks. It's nice and bright, nice and glowy, nice and welcoming, nice and, I think, fairly European. Next episode, we'll work on the plaza behind, or the square behind. That'll probably take a whole episode. I thought I could do this in 2 or 3. No, I don't want to have 30-minute, 45-minute long episodes. I want to keep them down 20, 25 minutes or so. So, yeah, we'll work on the plaza, the square behind the Serranos Gates after this, and then the ride up in the hills that are kind of behind that. Yeah. That's it for this episode. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. If you like, hit subscribe, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, pass the word. I will catch you later.